right, I am back for yet another episode of Little Things You Should Know. And it's getting more and more and more exciting, literally with every newsletter they pump out. I think you're really going to enjoy this one. This is something I've been tracking for a really long time, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Today, I'm going to share with you how you can store your files on the internet permanently for free. That doesn't even sound real in a lot of ways, but I assure you it is. The story starts quite some time ago. This is an article I wrote on June 28th, 2008. I attended a conference called Cloud Camp in San Francisco. It was kind of a side conference to Structure '08. And again, this was the year 2008. I had already been working with Amazon Web Services for a while, and it had fundamentally changed the way that I approached technology operations, development, websites, and things like that. So I was giving a talk, and this is a picture of the audience. Unfortunately, it's just really sad. I don't have a picture the other way but this is probably, I'd give anything if I had names for all these folks, but these were some of the very first people, I think, in the whole world that were thinking about what would eventually become DevOps. So I just gave a talk up on the stage about the best practices for what was likely going to become DevOps. And you can see this. We were right at the tipping point. If you look forward in time now, clearly cloud computing has really taken off. And the reason I mention this is because the very first service I ever used on Amazon Web Services, which was the big breakout point for cloud computing, was Amazon S3. That's the simple storage service. And today, there has been a set of innovations. It's not just any one thing. The big news, the little thing, it's a big little thing, is Web3.storage. That's Web3.storage. That's the actual URL. This is decentralized storage made simple. It's backed by Filecoin, which is backed by IPFS. I'll show you those in a minute. It's really, really easy to use. It's free. I want you to think about what I just said there. It's free. And you ask, how in the world can that be? And that's what I want to explain. So before I do that, I can show you just briefly that when you first sign up, they give you 1 terabyte, and you can just ask if you want more. But the the thing that you'll first want to try is, well, what's it like to store some files? So if you come here, I've put 2 files on there so far, and one of them was just a thumbnail right here. So if I click on that, it should retrieve the file. And there it is. This was just a thumbnail from one of the meetings I ran on day 222 of year 2021. And I put a video on here. And this was the first Little Things You Should Know, episode 1, which I wrote about EXO Insight. Now, this one I want to show you different. I'm not just going to click this link. So zoom in. It's a weird looking thing, right? I want to show you what this looks like. Hopefully you can see this. It's a really long, crazy looking number. Well, it's not even a number, it's a hash. It's a lot of different letters and numbers all together, and it's unique to this file. In fact, it's hashing the file that created this hash. No other file can ever have the same hash. If I put IPFS : in front of that, IPFS : I'm using Brave, so it's aware of the IPFS protocol. What it's going to do, ignore that. What it's going to do is it's actually going to load this video's IPFS page where the file is pinned by Filecoin miners, and we're going to be able to view the video. Now, there it is. So this is where it is. And you can see again that strange long hash. The thing that's interesting here is that this is the file, the MP4 file. It's about 16 megabytes in size. I just wanted to try with something small, but there is no real practical limit here. You can upload big things too. And so by clicking on that file now, what we're going to wait for, maybe I didn't click it, is eventually the video will load and we will see the original Little Things You Should Know, episode 1, as stored on IPFS and pinned by Filecoin. I'm not going to wait around for that. It does work. I did it earlier. The thing I really want you to see is that what it's doing is it's redirecting me through an IPFS gateway on something called dweb.link too nerdy. I'm not going to get into all that right now. Oh, good. Look, there it is. The video itself is here, and it's literally being hosted directly on IPFS, pinned by Filecoin. And when something is pinned like this, you can see it reports the status of a piece of data stored on Web3 storage IPFS nodes as hosted by Filecoin miners. Okay, Filecoin miners and storage providers. Just truly stunning technology. All props to the founder of IPFS, Juan Benet, the Filecoin cryptocurrency, which is now economically incentivizing the long-term permanent storage of anything that's put on Web3.storage. Now, one word of warning, it's a public network. So if you put something on there, people can find it if they have the IPFS hash. Now, they're almost impossible to guess, but you can play hash roulette and go out there and just sort of guess hashes and maybe you'll find something. But if you have sensitive data that you want to store on IPFS, there are new services coming online that are allowing private IPFS sort of nodes and networks and clusters. So there are ways to handle that and still leverage some of this technology. However, another way to do it, if you want to use public services like Web3.storage, is just to encrypt the data that you store. And even if somebody finds it, it won't matter because they won't be able to unencrypt it. Don't lose your encryption keys. So with that, we're going to wrap up this episode of Little Things You Should Know. I think this is probably one of the longer ones that you'll get from me, but there's just too much to talk about. And I'm going to try to think of other ways to share with you the myriad of innovations that are coming out of IPFS, Filecoin, and related projects and hackathons the world over. Absolutely incredible. That's Little Things You Should Know today from your host, Kent Langley. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are.